That was it. I mean, it was like you cut the light off.
Yes, sir.
And we had a little bit of moon, quarter moon, nearly a half, and it got covered up with the clouds, and I thought, yeah, it's fixing to turn on here. It never did.
No. When the clouds did move out, that streak of fog that was coming out of the back of Lost Creek up there went right down the middle of the sea, all the way down past the boat dock there, and it seemed like them moon stayed right behind them that fog.
Yeah.
All night, the rest of the night there that we stayed up there.
We swapped around on some baits, and I think I caught maybe one or two on that black with the watermelon mix, and throw the solid black, and throw the black and red. The waters came up, I don't know, probably 7 feet or so. It's up in the trees.
Yeah.
But the fish were in that 20. The fish we caught was in that 25 to 30 foot range.
Yeah. It sure was.
And dadgum, I was just blown away that we didn't just load the boat everywhere we stopped, but it just didn't happen.
No, the water temperature hadn't changed that much. It's still running 84, 85 degrees.
Yeah.
And stuff there. The wind seemed to be fairly good for us there. Wasn't no big wind blowing or nothing, but
yeah.
About the same way our Friday night. They just could not get a fish to bite whatsoever. Out of 6 places I fished, and got one hit there to start off with on that Z-hog there right as it was getting dark, and after that I never got another strike Friday night. And I wore the dang boat out there, raising the lid and changing baits and carrying on with it, trying to figure out something, and just never could find anything that they'd bite at all Friday night.
Yeah. Pretty much the same way there with us on Saturday night. We were on the trailer at 2 o'clock, and but I don't know. I think last night was the full moon. Not for sure, but I think it was. And then, it's going to be plenty bright tomorrow night, and if we don't have this cloud cover coming in.
I think he said something there about tonight was the full moon.
Was it tonight?
Yeah,
okay.
and it's going to have all the meteor showers, but you're not be able to see them on account of moon being so bright.
Yeah. One thing's for sure, we're not going to give up on them yet, because we've still got another month or two of fishing up there.
Oh yeah, they ain't gonna starve to death. I guarantee you that.
No, we're heck, we fished into October.
Yeah.
And had some pretty good trips in October. But like I said, you got all these storms coming through, water rising up due to the rain, and I guess they just had to take a rest. That's all I can figure.
Yeah.
But
the only thing I really seen for sure that you could get out there with a depth finder in 30 foot or something, and deeper, and even out there might be in 100 foot of water, and the fish should all be down there. You could see them suspended, but you couldn't get none of them to hit nothing. They'd be 5, 6 foot off the bottom or more. And when you was in there in 30, 35 foot of water, you could see the fish, but and the minnows down there too, but they wouldn't bite nothing.
I was really disappointed myself. I just felt like that we had a good opportunity. We kept we actually got a late start. We'd sat there and kept watching okay, is it going to storm or is it blown over? And it did. It passed us, and so we got there just a little bit before dark, but it didn't help us any.
No.
And so shucks. I'm not, like I said, we're not going to give up on them. We just got to find them and figure out what they want. That's the whole key to it, because many times we've told you all, it just takes a little subtle change of something to get them to biting it, and then once you figure out what they're wanting, you can catch them.
Yeah.
And because they're all over. We just got to figure out what color they want, and used to. I mean, heck, when a brown and orange or something in that neighborhood, and I haven't thrown it a bit. I've been sticking with that black and watermelon, and the black and red, and purple used to be one of my favorites. I mean, it was just a purple spinnerbait or something like that, and that's something else we hadn't thrown, is a dang spinnerbait.
No.
And I don't know if my shoulder will let me, but I'm gonna try. I'm gonna have one tied on and see what's going on with them. But we've thrown a lot of baits in the last month and a half, and hadn't. I mean, we've caught a lot of fish in a few trips, but they've been awful slow here the last couple of trips.
And they have.
I mean, heck, wasn't long. A year before last, that copper crawl was a killer.
Yeah.
When that moon got up, look out.
Yeah, well,
but right now you can't get a bite on it.
No, can't get a bite. Sure can't.
I mean, what happened? What changed? That's the key right there. What changed them fish from that copper crawl jig that was hot as a $4 pistol there last year, and now we can't get a bite on.
Yeah, Ed said the same thing too.
Yeah,
when he called in that week.
It just crazy. I mean, and the water changes up there through the year. One year we don't get a whole lot of rain, and the lake gets drawn down, and the clear water is just clear. And like right now, we've had the lake's up in the timber, and it's clear, but it does, I don't think it's as clear as we've had it in a few years back.
There's a lot that comes out at Clinchwood up there, and the Powell too, that comes out of Virginia and Kentucky and stuff up there where they're getting all that rain. It's got to go somewhere, and they got to hold it in north, because everything down the river's full too.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fact. The lakes are all full. That's fact. But like I said, the big thing is change up, and we didn't do it. Well, I threw 3 different colors there the other night, and still, wasn't satisfied with what they were producing. So, got to change up something there. If we get to go tomorrow night, and it's not storming or nothing on us, why, maybe we can come up with something that'll work.
Yeah.
Like I said, we were real disappointed in what we got to do there Saturday night. All right. I'll tell you what, Chandler, how about putting that film on if you're ready? If not, we'll take a break and come back to us. All right, folks, Mike and I are just now getting here on Norris Lake. Second or third cast there, he caught that small fish.
Yeah, watermelon Z-hog.
Watermelon Z-hog. All right, we're going to get after them, see what's going on here. Remember our sponsors, folks, and let's go fishing. All right, there old Mike is with a dandy smallmouth that time, folks, I'm telling you.
A little bit better fish.
Yeah, that's a good fish right there, old buddy.
Yeah.
That's a good.
Yeah.
All right, back to the water, Mike, so that I can catch one.
Okay.
Listen to him snap.
Okay, folks, Steve's got one there. He forgot to put the spot lock on, I know. Yeah.
I spot locked it, Mike.
Yeah, pretty good little fish.
All right, number 3.
Number 3, what did you get there throwing at him? Where?
Well, I got the black with
Black and
watermelon skirt and the watermelon trailer.
Well, that's
See
good.
it there?
Yeah, buddy. Got you.
All right, back in the water.
Back in the water with him. All right. Steve had to catch him twice. He just flipped off.
Quick.
Now he's trying to run him down.
Yeah.
Oh, he finally got him. Well, he thought he weighed 12 pounds when he hooked on to
I'm
him.
telling you what, I don't know how in the world that rascal was pulling so hard.
I don't either.
That's number 4.
Number 4.
Yeah.
Okay, folks. Steve finally got him one in there.
Finally. Mike, that's fish number 5.
Fish number 5, yeah.
Yeah, finally, yeah.
Yeah. Pretty good little fish.
Yeah. All right.
Fat and healthy. All right. Still on the black and watermelon. All right, folks. Steve's got number 6 there. Got it on red and black. Nice smallmouth. Real nice smallmouth.
All right, you got a good picture of
Yeah,
it, Mike?
good, fat and healthy, yeah. Keep going.
All right, let's get another.
Okay.
All right, that's the best it got right there.
That's it.
I mean,
That's it.
shucks, I don't know. I feel like, feel like I should have changed colors there about every 30 minutes or an hour and seen if we could have figured out something, but I didn't do that. Kept trying to force feed them, and they wasn't having it.
Well, not only the light factor was changing, but the water coming up too. But them fish, with fog moving in and stuff, and the cloud cover, they could be feeding the biggest part of the day, and
Very possible.
and try to feed a little bit right there before dark, and then after that they just act like they don't want to bite nothing at all.
Yeah. It's very possible, Mike, because we have had a lot of late evening showers and storms, rolling through.
What got me though was that one right there when I fished out there to the boat and then started bringing my bait up, and about halfway to the boat there was one about jerked the rod out of my hand,
Yeah.
So that tells me them suspended fish was out there, and start following something to get a hold of it,
Yeah. Well, that's got me. I really do want to get me a spinner bait on there and try that some, hopefully tomorrow night, and see if that's going to make a little difference. I don't know.
Yeah.
But get a jig or two and be ready to swap colors on them. And I mean, heck, we've got 50 different colors of jigs there in the boat to some extent. Time you mix them all up and this, that, and the other, we just got to find out what they're wanting.
Yeah.
And the moon being out bright may make the whole difference, and it could be bad. And a couple of weeks ago we had the moon up, and it, 3 weeks ago I guess, and that was the key to it, was to find the dark places, where a ledge come out and dropped off pretty steep. It created a shadow, and that's where the fish were laying.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they were down and you run across a little valley, a ditch line or something, and they were laying right in the bottom of it.
Yep.
So we'll just have to stay at it and see what's going on. Keep trying anyway. Hello to Bill, Charlie Irwin, Jeff Parrott, Mike Pennington, Ray Bryant, Ed Galt, and all you folks. We just thank you for watching the show. And sometimes we have a good one, sometimes we have a poor one. This is one of the bad deals.
Yeah.
You just, it's fishing, and we hope to get something going here tomorrow night, and find out a little bit of what the problem is.
I guarantee.
Yeah.
Guarantee.
So if any of you's got any suggestions, give us a call over here and let us know if you're been fishing or anything like that. We'd love to hear from you, and go from there.
On any of the other lakes too. I mean, you know,
Yeah.
some of them catching a few down at Watch Bar. I hadn't heard of a whole lot being caught down there.
Yeah.
Hot as it's been, you know, and the weather and everything.
Yeah, I think Watts Bar's been pretty slow too.
Milton Hill, Fort Loudon, or wherever, Douglas, Cherokee, or whatever lake you've been going to, even down in Chickamauga, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, we'd love to somebody to fill us in on what's going on. If they weren't catching any, what was going on?
Yeah. The guy told me that the crappie, I mean, not the crappie, but the walleye up there slowed way down.
Yeah.
You know.
We've seen, you know, in the last couple of weeks, 3-4 weeks ago, there was a lot of people, several boats tied up, anchored out, fishing for the walleye. And this past weekend, heck, I don't know, we probably didn't see 2 or 3.
I seen one.
Seen one?
One is on it.
Yeah.
They're actually fishing for the walleye.
Yeah. So.
They didn't last long either.
No, they didn't. It wasn't long. They picked up their lights and moved on.
Moved on.
Yeah. So, you know, that's not a good sign, you know. And we'll just have to see if we can find out the problem and do something about it. You know, figure out what they're going to buy and try to, you know, get to catching them again. Talked to Glenn Reynolds today. He got in another Express. It's a 190B, H190B. It's a center console, and it's got camo coloring on it. It's a good fishing boat, and if you want to go out to the islands and deer hunt or whatever, duck hunt or whatever, this thing's already camoed up and a nice looking rig. So get on his website and check that out if you're interested in it. And he's still got those 2 18-footers with the 115s on them. We've showed you pictures of those. They're nice looking rigs.
Oh yeah. Yes,
I mean,
sir.
they are that, both of them. They're not a thing in the world wrong with them, and they're, like I said, they fill up a trailer. I mean, they're wide on the top. They come up and flare out there, and there's a lot of room in them for an 18-foot boat. I just tell you the honest truth, they look pretty good. But do remember Reynolds Racing and Marine, and they've got a 250R down there. They're mounting on a bullet, but it's already sold. And he says he's just hoping that these motors will start trickling in now that it's getting later in the year. And these, you know, the 250s, the 225s, and so on and so forth, that they'll start trickling in. He can get a few of them. So keep that in mind. Get on the website, look over what they got, and if nothing else, drive by and check it out. You might be surprised. I want to thank Glenn for being one of our sponsors, and we'll just continue to do what we can for him to help promote his business.
Yeah, and, you know, he's got all your accessory parts for your boats down there. You got your trolling motors, depth finders, and all kinds of different things there, tars and bearings and whatever, and got the car parts and truck parts there at Central Auto Supply.
Yeah.
There, he can put you into that stuff too if you need that to get your automobile back going. So he can help you about any way you want there.
Yep, sounds good. And we're looking forward to seeing that this engine thing come to play here. You know, I'm I'm interested in getting me a 4-stroke like Mike's got, but I just can't seem to get a hold of one.
I hear you.
Yeah. So we'll see. All righty. Chandler, take us to a commercial break, will you? Hey folks, here at Tim's Tires, there's the times that they're open. The day, that's 5 days a week. They're open from 8 to 12:30 on Saturdays. All right, folks, we're inside here in the warehouse. Just wanted to give you a quick look at all the tires and stuff they got. And here we are. There's some 4-wheeler tires, lawnmower tires, just a mixture of about any kind of tire you want. So keep that in mind. Then here we get into the light truck, automobiles, that kind of thing. So just walk through here and give you a quick look at what they've got in stock here. I mean, it's it's just, I don't know, man. They must be a couple of thousand tires in here right now, if not more. Sizes, shapes. You truckers, you know the word. This is the place to get your tires for your trucks. And these over here, getting a little bigger sizes. Light trucks, heavier automobiles, this kind of thing. And as you can just see back through there, it's just, heck, I don't know, this building's probably about 300 feet, one end to the other, and they're wall to wall. Remember Tim's Tires, folks. That's down here on Highway 27 on your way into Harriman, and get the best deals they're going. So give them a call, price check, whatever you want to, and if you want a special tire that they might not have, you could, they'll definitely get it for you. Tim's Tires. Let people know what we represent.
That's what we're all about. We do try to do an honest day's work for the people, and we've got operators from all over the DOE sites, TVA sites, the outside contractors. We're just about everywhere you see a heavy piece of equipment, good chance that you'll see an operating engineer on it, rather it be Barnhard. I'd like to mention them, All Crane, and all of them that's signatory to us. We have over 100 contractors that's signatory to us, so I definitely appreciate those guys all the way in Chattanooga, Kingsport, Tullahoma, throughout all the way up to Johnson City. So we do cover a big area, and just let us know if we can be any help to local contractors that come through these areas. We'll definitely send you some people.
All right, David. I appreciate all those good words, and we'll get this on the air, and I want to thank you again.
Thank you.
All right, folks, we're back. Ed Galt, give us a phone call over here and let us know what's going on, buddy, if you've been fishing any.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'd like to hear from you.
That's right. Yeah. There may be some people down there fishing crappie and stripe and stuff at night down Wash Bar. I don't know, but the way these storms have been coming through, it's kind of hard to figure people out, whether they're going to get out there and try it or not.
Right. Yeah. I mean, a few weeks back, I heard some of them catching fish under the lights down there, some crappie and some stripe, but I hadn't heard anything in 3 weeks.
I think Brent, he lives down there on that lower end and everything, 10 miles down there below it somewhere, and he was talking about them fishing at Friday night, wildcat down there out of the dam and stuff, and said they hadn't been taking that much to win it,
Yeah.
7, 8 pounds or something like that.
It's, I think more or less it's just the weather conditions.
Them dog days of summer, as
Right.
they say. But, things may change. Pressure's going to change. This cool front coming. I ain't going to say cold front, but they might call it cold up there, but that 80 degrees ain't that cold.
Yeah. Well, that's true.
It's going to change out them 90s anyway for a few days. So
Right.
anyway, get a little relief here for a day or two, and I think the rain's going to slack off a little bit. I thought I seen something there like 10-20% the next 4 or 5 days. I think starting Sunday and Monday or something like that, Tuesday. A slight chance of rain, but nothing like we've been getting. That one there yesterday was just a flood there for
Yeah.
30 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, poured down. It was raining so hard that you couldn't see the ground. It's just like an ocean,
That's a fact. I mean, it's, it comes up Bear Creek and Bethel Valley there, and dadgone. And then you get over to Oliver Springs, and it barely is spring.
Yeah.
Or either it's pouring down in Oliver Springs and not
was,
going over the ridge over the old creek.
It was
in the Bethel Valley.
Not only did we get that one up there during the day there, but when we started home, run through a flood on the way home, and then got to the house there, and hardly much rain at all at the house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
After that one the other day there, it comes a hard, I went down to the other house, and the grass was dry, and by the time I got it about half mowed, it was trying to sprinkle, so I just kept mowing.
Yeah.
Was able to get it mowed before it come another, because the grass looked like it growed 2 foot there in less than a week.
Yeah. Yeah, it sure did get plenty of water, and it was coming on with it.
Yeah, that's for sure.
It's I can't believe nothing else other than just the weather related is what's got them messed up. But every trip is not a knuckle buster. In other words, it's not the best trip you ever had. So we just have to take what we can get in the boat and move on, and hopefully tomorrow night we can find out a little bit more what's going on, and try some different colors and see if we can figure them out. We got to figure them out. That's all there are to it.
Well, I think you got them catfish figured out pretty good.
Well, yeah, I've only caught 3 so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one Saturday night there had him hooked in the back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Fought that
I thought,
thing
shoot.
30 minutes or more there.
I threw that jig out there, and I got it out there close to the boat, and I picked up on it, and it just, bam, like that right there, and I set the hook, and I said, oh my goodness gracious, I didn't know what I thought, man, that's got to be a big old drum or something, Mike. I'd pull on it, and he'd take off, and I'd pull on it, and he'd take off. I'd pull on it, and he'd take off, and I finally got him up out of the boat, and it was a catfish about 3 pounds, and I'd hooked him in the side, and he had that line rolled up around him, and I thought, man, the line. It was amazing how strong that 3-pound fish was.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, buddy.
Even somewhere beside in the mouth.
I'd get up on the rod there, and he'd take off and strip the drag off. And I'd pull up, and he'd take off again and strip the drag. And I finally said, so I started thumbing him, to keep the drag from slipping. And I finally got him up there, and I said, I'm some gun. It's a dang catfish.
Yeah.
So, that kind of stuff. So anyway, we'll see who's calling in here. Hello, caller.
Well, hello, Steve and Mike. This is Paul Parrott, Jeff Parrott's brother. How y'all doing tonight?
Hey, Paul, we're doing good. How you doing?
Well, we're doing real good. We're sitting here watching you guys. we can't catch them either, but we're eating a good cold watermelon, just enjoying the show.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful, Paul. Well, you know, we're just like you guys right now. We're struggling, and it's hard to keep up with them with all this weather changing and everything.
Yeah, I know. We're kind of anticipating the water to cool down a little bit before we catch a few of them when it's shallow, you know, when it cools down. And
Right.
it's kind of tough. We're not. It's hard for us to fish deep and hard for us to fish at night. We can't see anything,
Yeah.
but we might go this weekend, and you know the weather's supposed to be good, and we might try if we can find somewhere where it's not crowded.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's just sitting back enjoying the show, and thought we'd give you a call and check in. Hey, those jigs, I got a question about them jigs. What, are y'all using a 3/8, half ounce? Is it a football jig or I guess, I don't know, swim jig, or is it just a.
What we're throwing is a banana. This old guy we got acquainted with a few years back, Max Meredith, a good friend of Bill's. Bill's been fishing with him for years, and Max got some molds, and he pours up what we call it a banana head. It's got a little curve to it, and throwing the 3/8 and a half ounce, and then also we're throwing a football head. I like the football head. It doesn't seem to hang near as bad because, a few weeks back I had one on that was a 3/4 ounce, and my shoulder was killing me, and I said no more of that. So I put a half ounce on and made it a lot better, and then but those two are what our main stay is, I guess, a football head and that banana head that Max pours. But I do like the football head. I don't think it hangs near as bad as anything else that we fished with.
Right. Those. Another question too. I know that we fish those gulps year round, especially in the in the cooler weather and all winter long. They're real light. We use real light line. But I'm just curious with those heavy jigs. I know that some of the areas that we fish are those big 45-degree angle banks that you'll throw out and 6-8 feet off the bank, and within 10-12 feet you're in 8 foot, and the next 10-12 feet you'll be down 25-30 feet.
Yeah.
Are most of the banks y'all catching those fish on, Steve, are they gradually sloping banks that come way out, gradually sloping, or are they pretty steep? Do you just step them big heavy jigs down the bank, or are you pulling them over kind of a slight gradual fall?
Well,
what seems to work the best for you guys?
I think it's all about the depth and in the moonlight. I think it's about the shadows. If you've got a place that's running out here gradually, and then it breaks off, it leaves a dark spot, and either in the gullies, in the shadows, what we've seen in the past few weeks. That's where I caught, I had that good trip. Bill, I done real good there on a Friday night, Wesley and I, and then had Bill up there on Saturday night, and he done real good. And it was all about finding those dark places. The moon was up pretty good, and
right.
The fish seemed to be hid behind in the shadows. And
well, yeah, that's kind of neat. Like I said, we, in the winter months, from starting late October all the way through the winter, those gradually sloping banks, not really the real steep stuff. You'll be 50, 60 feet off the bank, but you'll still be in, 16, 18, 20, 25 foot of water.
Yeah.
Pretty far off the bank, and we seem to do pretty good on those. And
Yeah.
Even the old style tube jigs, we'll use them. We'll use an 1/8 ounce jig head and run that jig head up in a watermelon tube, or 16th ounce, 1/8 ounce jig head on a 3-inch gulp or a 4-inch gulp, and we seem to be pretty good on those. But I'm kind of waiting around on that. That's what I really enjoy doing, especially in the fall of the year for the finesse fishing. But anyway, I'll get off here. Just wanted to tell you, Jeff, he eat all my watermelon, and we're just enjoying our show. And maybe we'll see y'all out there on the lake between now and cold weather. Hopefully, I'll get to go together sometime.
That sounds good. But to answer your question, we fish a lot of the humps and long running points up there. Occasionally we'll hit a steeper bank. I try to fish those in the cooler weather, November, December type deal on the steeper banks. And like you said, with a 1/8 or 3/16 ounce head, that's about the heaviest you'll go. But for what we're doing right now in the summertime, we just stay with the humps and the long running points and just set out on them and kind of look for the fish, we very seldom hit a bluff bank, but we do occasionally, when it gets slow and you can't find them out there in the middle of the lake on some of those humps and points. Why, you got to resort to something. So we'll go we'll run in towards Hickory Star and get on a steep bank or two, and if we find the fish there, then we'll stay with them.
Right. Well, I tell you, it's really exciting when you dragging that jig across the bottom, and all of a sudden it gets real spongy, and set that hook. That's a lot of fun. They can really pull when they're down there, 25, 30 foot deep.
Yeah.
That's a lot of fun.
Well, that's something. Something
we have a lot of fun on that. We fish up real light line, with them gulps and. I like using that 6-pound strand, the green line. Try to, a lot of people like that fluorocarbon. It's not got a lot of stretch, but I guess I'm just old school. I like the old 6-pound, green line. Try to give them something they can't see.
Yeah, that's the ticket. I like that 6-pound test myself, and in the colder weather, you can cast it good, and you put an 1/8 ounce head on there or something a little lighter, that's that 6-pound test line works really good.
Yeah. Well, thanks again, Steve and Mike. It's good to watch y'all. I always enjoy watching your show, and it's been real informative, and good luck to you guys this weekend. I hope y'all catch a boat load.
Well, I hope we do too, and you guys get an opportunity to try them a little bit. Maybe you can call us and say, hey, we figured this out.
That sounds good. Well, good luck to you guys. Y'all have a good afternoon.
All right, Paul. Thank you, man.
Thank you all.
All right,
Bye.
see you, buddy.
It depends on sometimes the moonlight, and real bright moonlight, you may have to throw toward the moonlight to bring your bait out there and find if you got big rocks and stuff there on a point or whatever, then they might lay down in between them rocks in the dark and wait on something, or if you got a drop off there, then they'll move out there that drop off and make an ambush point there or something. And if you're fishing with the moonlight behind you, it's harder for them to find a good place there. And the moon gets straight up, it's a lot harder to find them too.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. When it gets straight up overhead, there's not a whole lot of dark spots.
No.
So, shucks, it's just trial and error, and
See, when that moon starts coming up, going up the right-hand side there, toward Lost Creek or something up through there, that's where the fish should be. You'd try over on the other side, you couldn't get nothing. But later on tonight, when the moon got across, or when it's starting to get full and it's starting to set at 10, 11, 12 o'clock, over on the left-hand side going up to seed, and they'd be over there on that side. You couldn't hardly get one to hit over on the other side unless you found a ledge that was over that way that
Right.
get mines. But, yeah, them fish are, just like a brush pile or anything else. They're going to find something to hide behind to make an ambush point where they can catch them dang crawfish or minnows or whatever they're feeding on.
Yeah,
That's there.
That's the deal. They change up. They'll get get in behind something, or like I said, you're fishing a point out here and it'll roll off to one side and be leave a little dark place there, a shadow, and they'll be laying right there. Well, I'm looking forward, to getting up there tomorrow night. I hope you ain't planning on it raining, are you?
I don't think so.
Yeah, that's good. Sounds like we got a pretty good opportunity to get back into the swing of things. And that's something else, Mike. I want you to put your bubble gum chunk on.
Yeah.
Yeah. That pink pork rind, I want you to put it on your bait there and see if that makes a difference.
Might do it.
Yeah.
Might do it. That old frog stuff used to do pretty good too.
Black with a frog chunk on it was awesome bait, and it just. Heck, you don't never know about it. You just have to go up there and try them out. We think we've got a pretty good bait, and one week, and the next week they won't touch it, and you better, you just lay out some. Just get on the color chart and go for dadgummit from one end to the other.
Yeah.
Brown, purple, black, watermelon. Let's see, what's the other 3 or 4 colors we throw? The green pumpkin.
Green pumpkin stuff, yeah.
Yeah, just mix them all up there, and heck, and you fish one 30 minutes and you've not had a bite, cut it off, tie something else on.
Yeah.
And till you finally get, figure out, you get a bite or two, then you can start tuning it down.
It's that transition from a translucent bait down to a dark bait, somewhere in between that scale.
Yeah. Hello, caller.
Hey, Steve.
There he is. Now, Ed, listen. Now, I don't want you to blow Mike up with this black and blue. Now, come on with something else.
Well, I've been thinking it's the way the colors cycle, they might hit that copper crawl right now.
Well, they should. They ought to be all over it. That's the best looking, the closest imitation to a crawdad that I've seen.
Back when you and my dad, CH, fished in the tournaments in that club, he won a tournament using that one day.
Yeah. It's that's that, and they got the natural, what they call the natural crawl. I like that one too. So heck, I hadn't had a bite on the thing. And last year was a killer.
Yeah. Well, Mike was talking about some of these other lakes. I heard through the grapevine the other day that they're biting on Chickamauga last week. 2 guys caught 70 on top of water.
Shoot. Doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
In the grass.
A spook and frogs.
Yep. Well, that grass ought to be up good down there at Chickamauga right now. I don't know that for sure, but it should be.
Yeah.
And it's good fishing.
And y'all's weather report tomorrow night is 10% chance of a shower and wind 5 to 10.
Well, that sounds like a good deal. We may have to go, down the river or up the river to get out of the wind. You know how it gets on the Lewiston Sea there. Heck, 10-mile-an-hour wind up there, it's a white capping.
Yeah.
And I don't care, if it's coming from Lost Creek back to Andersonville or Andersonville to Lost Creek, it's a white capping.
Yeah, it picks up there.
Yeah.
Well, listen, You guys, I may drag mine up there tomorrow night, but I kind of doubt it. I'm still mixed up in this tree damage and stuff around here. And
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't really want to get out much better. Y'all have a good one.
Well, if you change your mind, come on up and we'll help you get your boat in.
Okay. All right, man.
See you, Ed. Thanks for calling, buddy.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Bye-bye.
All right. Let's see, who was it? Yeah, some guy had a 12-pound something come off Chickamauga. I seen a picture of it there middle of the week. Sponge had it on his phone there, and he showed it to me there. And so, yeah, they're catching some fish down there, which they ought to be.
Oh, yeah.
You know, they ought to be. That grass is a good thing. I wish we wasn't so real fired up about spraying it in Watts Bar and killing it, you know. So we'll just have to see. All righty. What else you got, Mike?
Well, I was listening to the ag guy from over to University of Tennessee. They have him on the radio about once a week or once a month or whatever it is, and talking to him about all these different things to do for your garden and your flowers, and you know how to take care of your grass and stuff. And what got me was somebody called in and asked him what he could use down on Watts Bar to spray for the grass, kill his grass out. And he got to telling him about these different things. He said, no, sit out in the water. Oh, I can't tell you anything on that. Said you better go check the regulations on that, because I'm not sure you can spray anything out there in that water.
Yeah. Well, you're really not supposed to.
Yeah, that's right.
But
that's right.
Anyway, gosh, mighty.
Yeah. I
It
don't
is.
think you need to be putting no Roundup on it.
No, I don't think Roundup would be a good thing to be spraying it, Mike. I don't know.
Yeah, but we got to drink that water. So.
Yeah. Gosh, mighty. But you know, that's it's just, you know, we're going to be trial and error. Heck, we're going to try our best to get up there tomorrow afternoon and try some different colors, see what that moon's doing, and that's why I like to throw into the moon. You know,
Yeah.
We're at point 19. The moon's coming up back over the Big Ridge Holler, and I like to be over there on that right-hand side throwing into the moon. Because your shadows are following it as it comes up. They're getting smaller and smaller and smaller.
Yeah.
And then when it gets straight overhead, put you on a dab lane watermelon, orange it up, and hope you can get a bite on.
Yeah. You been back over to Edgemore?
No, I haven't.
You going tomorrow evening?
Well, no, I'd like to go home and get ready to go fishing. What do you got? What do you think?
I need to get over there. I got to pick up a few things.
Well, shucks, I don't know what you think you'd need.
I need some more Z-Hogs.
Oh, yeah,
The
okay.
only one I got's the one on my hook.
Oh, I don't. You need to look in that tray there in my boat and see what's there that you can use.
That Z-Hog's been fairly good before dark right there, you know.
Yeah.
I've caught a few fish on it for the last month or more. Seems to be a good bait to be throwing there before it gets dark, but then once it gets dark, it seems like they don't want to hit it that good.
Are you throwing that on a Texas rig or lead
No,
head?
throwing on a little lead head.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Things quarter ounce.
Okay. Well, yeah, you might need to run over there and get you some more of them in. Yeah, out of them.
Yeah, they kind of tear them all to pieces after one or two fish, you know.
Right. I understand that.
Them daggone red eye, they seem to pluck all the painters off of it there, you know. One of them will hit it and you jerk miss and come back in. You got the two little painters on the side and the big long ones there in the back, and then they usually pluck them off of there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you don't get many fish out of it. But I don't understand that, how that is happening that way, when you can use take a jig, put the Z-hog on it for a trailer, and they don't tear it up near as bad.
No, they don't.
And so why, I don't.
But you can put that 11 chunk on there, and they sling it off and tear it up and bust it open and everything else.
Yes, to some extent.
Yeah.
I might use 2 or 3 a trip, maybe, and sometimes I might use the same one the whole trip.
Yeah.
On that trailer. We'll just need to see what we can get into, that kind of stuff. Remind me to, if you're going to go over there tomorrow evening, we'll get together and see if we need to make up a list of stuff and see what Vance has got. Mm-hmm. And I don't want, it's not like we don't have a boatload of tackle in there. Every box I got's plumb full of stuff. So, and that's another. I get Sherry to buy me those rings that you'd hang a shower curtain with. So you take the Zoom packs or whoever, net baits or whatever, and I just, all the number 11 chunks I put on a ring, and then the 101s I put on a ring, and then all the other stuff, put that on a ring, and 4, 5, 6, 8 packs of different colors and everything, and it just organizes the trailers, pretty much. And if you want a number 11 chunk, why pick up that ring and start flipping through there, and you got about a dozen colors. And then same way with the 101s or the tiny chunk, and then you got the what's the big-eared crawdad that we use for a trailer? Super chunk. Yeah. You got a ring full of them, about a dozen different colors, and so it just helps me keep all that stuff together. And you got pumpkin seed, gum red, you got blue, the sapphire blue, you got the blue and black with the blue flake in it, and it just goes on and on and on. Green pumpkin, watermelon. You've got about 8 or 10, 12 different colors there on a ring, and it just keeps it all together.
Well, that's what I've always heard, that that stuff wasn't made to catch fish; it was made to catch the fishermen.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why you have to have so many different colors, Mike.
Yeah.
Exactly right. Anyway.
Say, boy, that looks good. We'll try it.
Yeah, I got you. Hey, listen, folks, if you're on the water, whether it be fishing, tubing, jet skiing, whatever, be careful.
Yeah, that was something they was talking about there at the first of the week, that Decatur County, I believe it was, where that boat run into that barge. I don't know if it was night or what, but it was supposed to kill 3 people.
I remember it coming up on my phone, yeah.
Yeah, killed 3 people on that.
Yeah.
We run into that situation down there on Pickwick when they come up through there in the dark, and I seen a green light way over here and a red light way over there. And the old boy I was fishing with, he was headed right between them, and we thought it was part of that bridge. And then all of a sudden I said, "Oh, that ain't a bridge." And we turned and come back over, and it was a barge, and he was 3 barges wide. And had a dang light on each one on the corners, but nothing in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looked like a bridge because the barges was empty and they was sticking so far up out of the water. stuff. I said,
Well, that's, when you get down on the lower part of the Tennessee River chain, there's a lot of barges.
oh, yeah, a whole bunch of them.
So that's just another good point. But, be careful. Have your life jackets on when you're supposed to have them on. And, young kids are supposed to have them on 12 and under all the time. And have them out there where they're readily accessible. You just don't really know, and observe this dust, the daylight thing. Once the sun sets, the pleasure riding is supposed to be over with. I don't know if any of these new jet skis have lights on them or not.
Ain't seen none yet.
Ain't seen none yet. So that's the thing. But anyway, y'all be careful. God bless y'all. We'll see you next week. All right. Hey, folks. We're over here at Edgemore Outdoors and got Vance back here. They've got a new selection of, what is this called now, Vance?
This is all queen tackle.
Queen tackle, okay.
It's all tungsten. They got tungsten weights, flipping weights. They got drop shot weights. All the jigs are all tungsten heads. There's flipping jigs, football jigs. There's swim jigs down here too. That's all of it's tungsten. There's shaky heads right here.
Okay,
That's
all tungsten stuff. Well, Vance got my attention with one thing. You can take any jig. Vance, get some of those bills. The chatterbait bills?
These aren't tungsten, but you can take this little chatterbait here and you can make a jig or a
any
swim
jig,
bait, any kind of head.
Throw it and put a shaky head on it.
Yep.
Son of a gun. I was just wondering how long that was going to take.
They've got different sizes in the blades there. There's silver, gold, and black.
Silver, gold, and black, different sizes in the blades. And like you said, you can take a white jig that you're flipping and put that dang bill on it, and you got you a chatterbait.
That's right.
Well, I wish me and you had thought of that. Folks, listen, do get by here, Edgemore Outdoors. Just swing around here, look at, gosh, I mean, man, the racks are hanging full of stuff, line, oil, just everything in the world here at Edgemore Outdoors. Jim and his crew would be more than glad to help you find what you need. Back here on the thing, I mean, it's just, I just hadn't had a chance to get over here. I've been wanting to come by and make a new film, advertisement for Edgemore Outdoors, and we just thank you for their support here over the years, keeping the show going, and it's just row after row of tackle, baits, plastics, crappie stuff, catfish stuff. They've got live bait,